you gotta just let them know, hey, I don't answer calls during that time. I'm asleep. I'm spending time with God. About that. I bet he'll leave you right quick.
Who in your bed, girl? The Holy Spirit. That's who's in my bed.
You think about Jesus.
Jesus in my bed. What you got on? The full armor of God.
Honey.
The full armor of God, child. That's what I got.
What you got? Holy garment.
That's the holy garment.
Breastplate of salvation. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You gotta come quick with it now.
Come on, ladies. I gotta be fast. Don't
Especially sometimes those men of God too. They the one.
Okay, guys. It's me, Miss TC, and I have today my fabulous
Nella Bella.
Yay! Today we're gonna be doing like a mukbang. We're kind of gonna be like, eating some food. So we got some food from Mr. and Mrs. Crab out here in Brandon area. That location is one off of what is it? By the mall.
Yeah,
Providence, I think it is, or something like that. So yeah, so that's what we got today. We have Mr. and Mrs. Crab. And basically today we're just going to be having some girl chit chat and stuff like that.
Hot topics.
Exactly. So Nella, you want to tell the people how they can find you and follow you?
Yes. So you guys can actually follow me on my YouTube channel, which is Antonella, daughter of a king. So yes, you can find me on other social media platform, Antonellalavoile. So I'm excited. Follow me, guys.
Yes.
More stuff.
Please follow her. She is fabulous. I'm telling you guys, she's an awesome fashion designer, and she is a beautiful, powerful woman of God. So you guys will never be disappointed, and you will be blessed in all the content that she shares on her channel. And so today, like I said, we're going to be eating some crab here, some lobster, some shrimp.
A little bit of everything. So it's going to get dirty because it looks like we don't have no gloves.
We don't have no gloves because the
dirty.
kids took all the gloves. They play with stuff. You can't have nothing, girl.
Right.
Kids
they
play
make
with
up stuff.
everything.
They make up games and stuff and just use all your stuff.
They do. And so we both are lightweight, so this is definitely not spicy for either one of us. This is not. Can't do no spice. I got heartburn, so I got the mild one, so they should be good. Exactly. So, pencil, paper towels.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So, all right, this is
so the topic of the day.
Some discussions here. So, I feel like one topic I do want to discuss is dating. As a Christian. Oh my God, how hard is that?
Yeah, as a Christian woman or man of God.
Oh my goodness.
Just everything that comes with it, because it's hard. It's very challenging in today's world.
It is.
And how we live in and how people actually view things. It's not the same. It's not like the old days where people actually had a purpose to marry. Now it's like purpose to have fun.
Exactly.
And waste people's time. But we definitely want to talk and I think it's a topic that we don't discuss, like taboo. Like people don't really want to talk about it.
That is true. Because I think the hardest thing about trying to be like a Christian woman and serving Christ is like dating. Because I feel like there was no dating involved. You don't have to worry about no men or anything like that. I don't think the struggle will be as hard. But it's like then you're trying to find someone. Well, we're not finding them, put it that way. Because a lot of people, what I hate when people say is when they be like, oh, let him find you. You can't go look for him.
Right.
But you meet a guy, he's approaching you, right? So he's finding you, and you don't want to be like,
or you got to be
cutting people off.
Be available. You got to, especially in this day and age, we don't really go especially with technology and everything. It's kind of easy to just meet people online, so we don't really go out like that. But it seems like we got to put ourselves in a place for them to find you. Like if you just stay home all the time, you ain't gonna be fine. Like they found, like they're not gonna be looking for you at home. Like you actually have to make yourself available, like go out. But it's not like back then where you could just go to the grocery store and then you find your man of God or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like that.
I get that a lot. A lot of people ask me that. They be like, oh, you go to the grocery store and meet someone. I'm like, I don't ever meet no one in the grocery store. I feel like when I step outside, there's a bat signal that is released that says, Tiffany is going outside. Run. I have never.
The target on your back, like, hey, I'm single and available, ready to mingle.
Exactly. It's like, I don't get it. So it's like frustrating to me because like I try to be open. I try to give people chances and stuff and like, okay, let me see what this guy is about. You're really not going to know until you actually go on those dates. Like some people you can weed out. Yeah. But I was telling my aunt today because I was telling her about this horrible date I had yesterday. Oh, girl.
Tell us about it, girl.
It's too long to tell. It's definitely too long. It'll take up an hour of your time. So I'm not going to go through all details, but then she hit me, you know, she was just saying like, well, why did you know? You should have known. Like, do you get a feeling? No. And I was like, well, I guess because you just try to be open. You try to prejudge people. And sometimes you
kind of
really
give them the benefit
know.
of the doubt, basically. Because, you know, we all, you know, are in different stages of life.
Yeah.
So you don't want to, like, go right in depth, like, as soon as you meet them and start asking them about God and, like, stuff like that. But, you know, because I think it can scare some people, like, no, man, she's too religious or she's too judgmental, like,
that's what God said to me yesterday. He was like, oh, you're a good girl. And I'm like, a good girl? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Like, oh, you don't smoke? I'm looking like, no. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, so, because I don't smoke and I don't club and
party. I do worldly things, so that can
drink
be like...
hard. Like, you know, I'm a good girl. Like, I don't mind the word being, I don't mind being labeled as a good girl, but I just feel like when they say it like it's like something negative,
right?
You know?
Like good is bad and bad is good.
Yeah, like
oh, in the Bible. I know there's a verse like that in the Bible somewhere. Without getting deep into it, but it's like you can't really. It's like we're tippy-toeing at the same time, like we just. It's like we're converting into like try to make them feel comfortable and ask a question because you really don't really want to ask too many questions, but we do. We have to be serious because we already know we want to get married. The purpose of dating for us is to get married. So
exactly, you date with like intent, with a purpose. It's just so
frustrating to know, especially as women. This is what I think. I really think that I don't know. I don't want to blame the churches, but I really think that they put too much pressure on women to be the woman of God and you know. Save your virginity and you know all of that. But what about the men? They're the leaders. Why they're not being held accountable?
They're definitely not held accountable.
You know, like why there's not enough men at the church? Like why are they not leading? There's more women at the church, so it's just weird that they're not put into. Don't have any kind of accountability, or they don't have a man of God that can lead them and teach them how to treat women, how to look for their women, you know, find their wives. Like, why is it always us that has to set ourselves in a certain way? It just felt like there's so much pressure on women to be that woman of God.
It is. I feel like it's more pressure because, you know, reality of it is, it's like no men in church anyways. I don't know what happened, but it seems like the average church has like no men. And then the ones, you know, that are in there, you know, they're either married, they're deacons, they old. You know, it's like men don't want to join Christ until they like old and
old and can't function anymore.
Probably like they ain't trying to do nothing now. So I'm like, well, shoot, I ain't trying to.
They want to find somebody that can take care of them.
Exactly. Like, so it's like, where's the young church guys at?
Sick and not healthy and everything.
And it's like I know this one guy.
Like I want.
Yeah, I know this one guy. I'm telling you. Now he was in the church, but he wasn't no good though. He was like, I think that was his ministry girl just to see how many church girls he could persuade. But
and some of them, they do. That's a new playground for the devil now.
No, you gotta be careful.
Some of them they do just go to church just to mess around.
Just to get that. Because it's funny because when you're in a church, I remember I watched a video and they were talking about the guy did the whole thing like, why don't you date women inside your church? And the guy was like, because women become territorial, and then all of a sudden they don't kind of, you know, they don't want. It's hard because, like I said, if it doesn't work out with sister so and so, you can't talk to nobody else in the church because now sister so always gonna be looking at you sideways because she's gonna be like, well, you know, I used to talk to her, even though she don't have to be friends with the other lady, but you know what I'm saying, like because they're in the same church.
Yeah.
So that's why they say they go out on the outskirts and then they bring their girlfriend to church like that. They don't mingle within the church. So that's what also makes it difficult because, like I said, if you're in church, 9 and 10, the guys that are in church that may be quote unquote single, you got like 50 women fighting for him because all of them swear up and down God said that this was their husband.
Right, and it's like as soon as a new guy comes, like if you know you're at the church, as soon as a man, if he comes in and he's single, he's like all the female. They look at we do look at that. Like, okay, he available girl. Like let's see who we gonna like or whatever. You know, it's just like it's
that's
just
definitely me, girl. I've been guilty of that. Especially when you all sit up with the same old women all the time. You probably see a good looking guy come and you looking like, ooh. I'm trying to see if a ring is there, but honestly, that don't even matter no more.
I had one time, I had invited this girl to church, right? So I think actually it was Bible study. Because most of the people in my church are like either married or there's not enough men. It's just me, single women. So she comes into the church and she was like, oh, there's no men in here? I'm out. We were like sitting there, all she was doing is looking around, and I was wondering what she was looking at for, but I was like, okay. She's like, there's no men in here. I'm out of here. And she just walked out. And I was just trying to figure out, like, did you come for the wrong reason? We actually came for Bible study. Aren't you not going to stay?
Like,
no.
I don't waste this fly outfit.
I
don't did my hair. I don't shave my legs.
Yeah. I was
so come here, look at you women.
I don't know, but I do feel like, especially for, I don't know, I just feel like at church, if anything, like I think there should be a discussion. I do believe that it should be, especially if you have single ministry at your church, and there should be a discussion for either the women and then the men that are seeking marriage.
Yeah.
And you basically start developing these people to learn how to be women and men of God, and how to be in a marriage, like things to look out for, and just preparing them. And I think there should be either a class, I'm not sure, and there are churches that does offer that, and you either, I don't want to say like arranged marriages, but like you know, maybe introduce this man to this girl, because I know there's some, I think there's some religions that does that they arrange marriages, but they, not in that sense, but at least, you know, you present this person to that person, hey, you know, you kind of groom them into that what they need to be.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
At a younger, you know, as they grow in your church, you're like, okay, well, what is it that you're seeking? Are you seeking marriage? Because not everybody seeks marriage, but if you're in the church body, you should. If you're, you know.
Yeah, some people are like, some people are okay with like being bachelors forever. But like I said, my issue is that when you are dating these guys out here, and it's like you tell them like, okay, I'm trying to serve God, then they're already looking at you kind of funny, like, oh God, she's gonna be one of them. Then when you say, okay, I don't want to have sex, I want to wait till I'm married to have sex, then God forbid if you say that, but they're definitely not trying to wait on you for that, because that's a hard,
really
that's something hard to resist.
Yeah,
because I feel like I truly believe. Oh, go ahead.
Not to cut you off, but first of all, if they men of God, they should already be walking in that office. Like they should already be walking, like it should be okay for them if I say, I shouldn't have to say, hey, I want to wait till marriage to have sex, because they should already they should be doing that the same thing, so that when that discussion comes up, it's okay, because then he's also saying the same thing. Oh yeah, I've been not having sex with all these different women, but when you're like talking to them and they're like, yeah, I've been sleeping around, then you already know in your back of your head, I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to struggle with this guy here, because he's already sinning. So he already doing that. So if I tell him, hey, you know, I want to wait till marriage, there's gonna be some type of conflict there. So those are some things that we deal with a lot, especially the sex part.
The sex part is the hardest. I feel like it's easier to serve, like, for instance, if sex wasn't a sin, like premarital sex wasn't a sin, I think you'll probably have more people serving God. I think that's what really messes it up.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Hold on. I'm about to jump out here. Wait a minute. What?
I don't think that came out right.
No, explain yourself, girl.
I feel like when people, no, I know. I just feel like when people say, like, you know, for instance,
a tryout,
like a tryout, you know, so no, like
if it was just normal, like if
it was just
for that.
normal. Let's just say, like, you know, God says, all right, y'all can hunch all you want before marriage. I think it probably would be easier to serve because I really feel like this when I was.
So basically, you say
God approved this sin, so I can.
So if it wasn't a sin, so it would just be. So basically, the main struggle is the sex.
I think
let's just say that.
I think it is the main struggle is the sex part.
The what we struggle with is the not having control,
not having self-control,
and needing sex because we're natural being,
and especially if you already had it. So let's say if you're a virgin, you never had sex.
Right.
The urges I think might be easier to control. But once you've already started hunching and now you say, okay, Lord, I'm rededicating my life to you. And it's easy when you ain't got no man, but as soon as you get a man.
Right, because you want to spend time. Because I hear, I've heard the things that some people try to do to avoid, like, hey, you have to have a chaperone. But who want to do
that's
that?
Heavy. That's serious right there.
Like, your man going to be looking at that chaperone like, can I kiss her? Can I hug her? Like, ain't nobody got time for that. Like, I ain't going to say ain't nobody got time for that. I'm sorry. Sorry, God. But.
Yeah,
you don't want to have to do all those extra stuff because
you don't. Like I said,
you want to feel free. You want to be able to hang out. You want to be able to go to their house or he come over. But again, those things does cause one thing leads to another, and then
my mom used to always say, "Kissing leads to sex." And we were growing up, and when we do all that kissing, you're gonna start having sex. Like that's how her attitude was. So I feel you. Like it is hard though. Because I feel like when I was married, it was easier for me to serve Christ. Like, I feel like that's when my relationship with God was at its strongest when I was married. Because I didn't have to worry about that particular temptation anymore. I was able to focus on my husband, my kid at the time.
You had one person.
You're
giving yourself to.
So it was like everything was kind of all in order. So it was easy for me to be like, okay, let me serve God with my whole heart. Like, let me give him everything because I had no real other temptation out there like that. But like I said,
now you can't give your God your whole heart.
Well, not saying I can't give my whole heart, but I'll be good. I'll be doing good, girl, until I meet a man, and then that's when it becomes a struggle. I'm just being honest. Like that's when it becomes a struggle.
He knows what you want
because the flesh is weak, honey. So he be like,
so
when you start dating a guy, you be looking like, okay, because it's actually easy in the beginning. Because, I ain't no loosey-goosey. Because I ain't no loosey-goosey, so I don't want to be just laying up with anybody. But when you really start, when you really, are vibing with someone, and they're hanging out at your house, or you hanging out at their house, or y'all going on dates, and then he might, put his hands on your shoulder, girl. You're looking at him like, God, he's so fine. It is so hard to hold back. But let me tell you something. One thing I do know is that and nobody will marry your behind faster than a Christian man because he be just trying to get some. So he be like, let me walk you down the aisle. See, because that temptation is real.
The false hope. I don't know why don't we just do it? Because we know we're gonna get married anyway.
That's
that line right there. That's that game.
What's his name? Dietrich Haddon. He said that crap when they had that little minister reality TV show. He was
that minister thing.
He was telling his girl. Because I think that, she was trying to show face for camera.
The girl that he had cheated with on his wife?
Yeah, that one. And so she was like show face on camera. But he was saying to her, well, we already, got a baby. So technically in the eyes, we already had sex, I'm sorry. So in the eyes of God, we're already married type situation. I'm like, he tried to finesse that thing. I was like, no, you still shacking.
You're still shacking, you're married.
Just because you hunch. But that's what that Juanita buying those sheets was about, because she was saying every time you have sex with someone, you're married to that person, and that's where that soul ties come from. Because I'm telling you, soul ties are real.
Soul ties are real.
Oh my God, they're so real.
That's
you
real.
Really gotta ask God. Oh goodness.
Only God. Only the power God can break those things. Sometimes you need deliverance.
Because you be trying to figure out why can't I get rid of this person?
Girl, I had one time I had to actually be intentional about that because I had to get rid of everything this guy gave me to actually fully get over him, because every little thing that he gave me will remind me of him, and then I'll go into this depression or just thinking of him. So you have to, once you go into that, want to really get that soul tie broken off, you have to actually be intentional about it. Like, I'm not trying to be too deep, but you really got to be intentional about doing the work. Because sometimes just praying praying about it is not enough. You actually have to do the work. You know, maybe block him from all social media. That's out of sight, out of mind, honey.
Exactly. That's the hardest part for me. I don't want to block nobody.
I don't care. And then set boundaries, because boy, I had to learn about that. Because I used to, I don't know if I used to be a person, a people pleaser or whatever.
Me too. I still
that will, oh my God, put you in so much trouble. Because, you know, they'll be like, oh, let me just come over. Ain't nothing going to happen, girl. We're just going to wash something. I'll help you clean up. Or I'll help. You know, there's an easy way. They'll find something that you really like to do. No, don't worry. I'll take you out. I'll drive you home. I'll drive you back home. Yeah, right. Then you driving me to your house. And I'm hostage, huh? Yeah, how about you drive me back home? What happened to that? Then you tired. They get you tired. You don't want to drive. You don't want to go back home because you're already tired. So you know.
Yeah. You really gotta set rules. Like if you're gonna date, you gotta be like, okay, if I'm gonna be in your house, it gotta be in the daytime. Because the reality of it is, I think I have more willpower to resist things in the day. But if I'm laying in your house in the midnight hour watching a movie, cut up on the couch, that's gonna be.
You're tired. Your body's at rest during that time. That's why they be calling you at 10.
Hello.
If you get a guy that be calling you around 10, the late night hours and the midnight hour.
Don't answer them calls.
Don't answer it.
No answer.
And sometimes you gotta just let them know, hey, I don't answer calls during that time. I'm asleep. I'm spending time with God. How about that? I bet you he'll leave you right quick.
Who in your bed, girl? The Holy Spirit. That's what's in my bed.
You think about Jesus.
Jesus in my bed. What you got on? The full armor of God.
God, honey.
The full armor of God, child. That's what I got.
What you got? A holy garment.
Holy garment.
Breastplate of salvation. Yeah,
Oh my God.
You gotta come fit with it now.
Come on, ladies. I gotta be fast.
Especially sometimes those men of God too. The one that claim that they are, they hide behind that because they know that's what women their weakness, and they want that.
Yeah,
so they'll tell you whatever, just to sound good. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Eventually, you want to be married. Eventually, when? Exactly. I don't want to spend my life with you, giving myself to you, my time. Like time is so valuable now.
It really is.
Time for that.
Because it's hard. Like I said, that's the thing about dating. You have to take a gamble. I had told this one guy because he was telling me that, about wasting time. Like, the idea of like, okay, I got to go through this whole dating thing.
Yeah.
But I told him, I said, did you pray on it and ask God about the woman you need to be talking to?
True.
And he was taken back for it. I said, you can avoid a lot of stuff if you just pray first. Can. And let me tell you that I'm so guilty of that because I do not pray when I first meet somebody. It all depends. Like, if I'm kind of on the fence, I will pray. But if I want him, I ain't gonna pray because I feel like
because you already know what the hell
I don't want God to say no.
He ain't the one.
I'm like, Lord, but look at him though, Lord. Look how he walks.
You're trying to reason with yourself, trying to bargain with God. Like, God, come on now, I'm gonna bring him to church. Go ahead, let the pastor lay hand on him.
Exactly. Oh, the idea of changing someone. Like, that's what I struggle with sometimes. Because they'll be like, well, do you go to church? Or you believe in God? Yeah, I believe in God, but I don't go to church. Why not? They come up with whatever reason that people say they don't go to church. And I'm like, well, maybe I can bring him to church with me. And then maybe if he see me, then he'll start serving God. I'm like, girl, get it. No,
he should already be walking.
And that's what I'm struggling with now. Because now it's to the point where, I guess when you kiss so many frogs, you go through so much. Because I do ask. Now, that question I will ask off the gate. Like, boom, like, do you believe in God? Because if you don't believe in God, I can't even entertain you. You got to at least believe in God,
And depending on what God they believe. Because
that's true. Because I learned that the hard way.
A whole other God. And you find out it'd be something so totally different. Like,
I had invested with this guy. Yeah, I invested with a guy. And the whole time I said, well, I thought you believed in God. And he was like, I do. And I was like, but what God? Because you don't believe in Jesus Christ. So now you got to be more specific with it. You got to be like, okay, do you believe in Jesus Christ too? Like,
what church you walk in? Like, what is he part of the church? A homebody? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because if you're just out here in the streets giving it out to everybody, like, then you're not the one for me. And I guess it's kind of hard because it's like we know, like as a Christian woman, we have the spirit of discernment. Like we kind of know. I think we just have the idea. I think we fall in love with the idea of being married so bad, and we have a ticking clock. Like, okay, now I'm like this age, and like I still have something in common. We've been married before,
That's
but
true.
now divorced. So we already know how it is to be married versus somebody that never been married before.
Yeah.
And so we know like what it feels like. We know we want that again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want to have that family union or whatever. Maybe.
Yeah, you do.
And so it's just a whole different thing. It's a different ball game. Like I said, like people now, the guys now, it's a playing field because it's like a lot more women out there, and now women are the one chasing men.
Oh, I hate that. That's what I was telling my aunt today. I don't like the idea that I have to freaking audition to go on a date.
Right.
Like, I mean, I get the whole point of everybody courts someone. Everybody puts on their show because that's how you lure that person in. How is it you want that person to like you? How is it you want that person to want you? Is that you gotta kind of like put your best dress on, basically. Put your best foot forward.
Put all your effort.
But I feel like with guys, they don't like.
They don't try. They don't see the value of trying.
Yeah,
like,
they don't try.
Why do I have to do everything?
Exactly. Like, for instance, like recently this week, I went on a total of 4 dates this week, right?
Wow.
Living my best little life.
Living the life, girl.
And they all was a hot mess, except for one. One was pretty decent, but yeah.
They should get free lunch or something.
No, girl, because I didn't get no food. Let me tell you. Because they do these meet and greets. So you got to do the meet and greet first. If they like you enough on the meet and greet,
where's the
then
meet
they'll
and greet
pay
at?
you. Well, it all depends where they want to meet you at. The meet and greet
Who
could be
decided
at the
meet and greet
parking
you?
lot. They do it. They be like, oh, let's meet at the Wawa gas station. Then they like you. Then they be like, well, you want to go get something to eat after this? And it's like,
wait a minute. What is this? This is worse than when I was dating. Meet and greet.
Like online dating. Like nobody.
So they don't even put the effort to actually take you out on dinner? No. If you can't take me out, at least.
No, they don't.
What?
They don't.
Y'all man, okay, not all y'all, but seriously, that's what it's coming to?
That's exactly
2021?
It is.
Meet and greet? What the heck? Okay, now we're gonna go to stage 2. I want to spend $2-3. I actually had that happen in one time. Not like that though.
First date,
man, this man.
$20 max. Second date, $30.
That date, I think maybe that was my last date from hell. That's when I knew. I was like, cause this guy was begging me to go out, right? He's begging me to go out.
That's not gonna be the main one,
right? And he's like begging me, and I'm like, okay. That day was like maybe after church or whatnot, and normally after church you're hungry, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And I was putting, I was like, no. So it was later in the day, like around 6, 7, when it's getting dark or whatever. He's like, hey, okay. Now, once he figured out I was not like giving him the time of day, he's like, okay, like, let's go, let's meet up at, I don't remember, I think it was like Wing House or whatever. Because I was telling him, he was asking me, what do you feel like eating or whatever.
Yeah.
We meet there, right? I'm thinking, because I'm hungry at this point, because, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking we're going to eat, whatever. So we get a table, whatever. And so the lady, the waitress comes, whatnot. She's like, okay, so what you guys, she asked him what he want to eat. Nothing. So I'm like, nothing?
That's how that guy did me, girl.
I was like, nothing in my head, because I was trying to keep myself together. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I already see where this is going to go. Let me just give me an appetizer, because I don't want to come here all the way for nothing. I'm going to give me a little appetizer. And I think it might have been like onion rings, because I didn't want to just, I think it was something like small. So the waitress comes and give me the food, whatever. Yeah. This man is all over my thing, eating and talking. Like, eating all my food. I was like, you know what? And I didn't know if he was a killer or anything like that, or a crazy.
Yo.
What's up?
He's just eating it up, like eating it up, like he bought it or whatever, like he's paying for it. So I was like, okay, well, since he's eating my food, in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, let's see if he's gonna pay it. So the lady comes to the check or whatever, and she hands it to him, like she slides it to him, because she's assuming what she should, assuming that he gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
Girl, this man looking at that thing, he's looking at me, we're looking at each other, because I was looking at him, we're looking at each other, we're looking at the thing. I'm like, okay, are you gonna pick it up? Are you gonna pay for it? Then he's like, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. In my mind, I'm like, okay, he's probably gonna leave. And I was like, thank God, I just want him to leave too. This guy goes to the bathroom, but He didn't go to the bathroom. He went to like this little cubby hole, little area, and I could see him looking at me. Like I could see him like peeking through the like look. I was like, what the heck is going on? I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and just pay this thing. So as soon as I paid it, guess who came back? Him, right? Woo. He's like, okay, let me walk you to your car, or whatever. Like, because at that point I was done. I was like, I'm ready to go. Waste of time. Dude. I don't want to talk to you. I'm like, as soon as I get home, block you, everything, right? He walks me to my car. He's like, oh, can I get a kiss? And I was like, can I get a kiss? I was like, a kiss? He's like, then he has a nerve to get mad. And I was like, no. So I just get in my car and I just leave. I was like, and I block him. I was like,
Oh my God.
I just couldn't not believe it. And that day, I was like, you know what? This dating thing is not for me. Like, I'm not sure what this is going on. And this dating thing, I don't know what to tell y'all single ladies out there dating. Because it's just like, I can tell you everything to get yourself ready and do all that. But really, the men need to have that message. Like somebody needs to teach those men to be accountable.
Yeah, no, they
one
don't
that said they want to be married.
Because they be claiming the reason why they do this because they tired of women using them for free meals, free dates. So they try to see like if you're worth it because they, because women will go on dates with guys just for a free meal.
But if you're secure in yourself, you should be okay with that. Like you should be okay. I'm not trying to be funny,
but one thing I would say truthfully, and no shade, and I hope nobody takes this the wrong way, but I gotta speak my truth. I notice a difference. When I date a guy who has money, I never hear them say that. Like a guy who's like really like balling with money, I never heard him say no mess like that.
And men that's secure.
Yeah, like only time I hear that is from the guys who, and it's like no shade. The ones who like probably don't have the best, either who's struggling or kind of like in my financial bracket. Because I don't want to throw shade, but if you're like in my financial bracket, then yeah, I hear a guy kind of mention that. Especially if they got kids or something. But if it's like a guy who got...
First of all, I don't give a damn. If you're about 35 or older and you're a man, if you're having issues, like, and it's okay. We all go through a struggle. She was trying to, soften it up. I'm going to give you a real deal. So, I'm sorry, but you should not be dating. This is the time for you to get yourself together, get your finances together, go to church, go get, a church home, get your, self grounded in the word of God, like build yourself up. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you out there looking for somebody that you can't afford to pay for, like pay a meal? I don't get that part. And like right now, there's just so much stuff that you can do if you really like that person. I think this is the problem. The men don't put effort to like think outside the box. Like we could go rollerblading, we could go to the library. I don't care. Like let's go walk to the beach. Yeah. Or let's go,
they think everything has to be expensive and it doesn't.
Like it doesn't have to be free. We could just go and on a road trip, like just sightseeing. Like why can't you think like wait, like I'm so frustrated with men. Like why y'all not putting the effort? If I was a man, I would know how to be married already.
Hello, I would be married first of all. Second of all, I would know how to date a woman. Because like I said, they think that they automatically assume, I gotta spend this big amount of money. And it's like you really don't. Like honestly, all you have to do is find affordable dates. Like you could gauge a woman. If you talk to her like, what are you into? If she says, I'm into art, you could go down the channel side and walk and look at some art for free. You know what I'm saying? Or she says, okay, I like going to the beach. The beach is free.
It's free. So you gonna tell me you can't?
You can just take it to the beach. Just do like go to the beach and just sit there and talk. And you don't have to spend that much. You can go to Publix, get you a little bit of fruit.
They already have the fruit thing already prepared for you. And that's already did the work, so you don't even have to think about it. How about that? They have no excuse.
What it is that they pick the women. Like okay, let me tell you. Prime example. They pick a certain type of woman.
Yeah,
they stick to that woman. They keep picking. So when they meet somebody different, they can't realize that this person's different. They kind of get shut down. And a lot of people do that, both male and female. So I do get it. But like I remember this one guy. He was saying how all I date is the girls. All they want to do is smoke weed and drink at the house. I ain't never heard of that before. I never knew no chicks that like go on
most
date
women
like,
we out here making it happen.
Yeah, like I said, well, how you picking these women? So then I look at his profile, his dating profile. Now he says he wants a woman who is a good woman, quote unquote Christian woman. You know, somebody who is like trying to like live her life right, has her stuff together, yada yada yada. So that's what he's saying. And so, but when I look at his dating profile, he is holding nothing but liquor bottles in every freaking picture. So you want this good girl, right? But every picture you holding, like, here you are holding a bottle of Douce, and then you holding a bottle of Grey Goose, and then you're like showing yourself at the bar holding a drink in your hand. You know what I'm saying?
At the club, living it up.
So a woman who is saying, okay, I'm not into guys like that.
They're not gonna put value in that.
She's not gonna check you out. So you want to know why you keep attracting all the ones who got weed breath and who want to sit there and drink
and watch home all day doing nothing.
That's why.
This is what you're gonna attract.
About it. So then when you meet a woman who's decent, you don't know how to treat that person because you're not used to it.
You're not on that level, bro. Like look at your profile, and would you date yourself? Like honestly.
That's the key question in life. I feel like when you're dating, period, you have to be in a place in your life where you look at you and say, can I date myself?
Right.
Like where I'm at right now in life, can I date myself? And that's what's key. Like I date myself all the time because truthfully, even where I'm at, even though I have like battling a lot of stuff, but I love my personality.
Yeah.
Like it's something about me that I just love. And I know it might sound like I'm a little conceited, vain, or whatever, but it's the truth. Like I like my sense of humor. I like and I go on dates by myself all the time. I don't care. I get dressed up super cute, do my makeup, and people be thinking I'm doing stuff. I'm like, no, child. I just went to go to freaking Longhorn and ate an appetizer and drunk some lemonade, and now I'm coming back home. Like I don't have an issue with like
I've done it many times. Just going out, just with yourself, get comfortable with yourself. And so that you know how to treat what you will be expected, what you would want to expect from a man. Like, you know how you.
Actually, I had a quote too. Let me find that quote. I had a quote where I just posted it too not so long ago, and it was so fitting.
I think I seen that thing.
That's why I posted it because I was like, I just thought about it. It's like relationship with yourself sets the tone for the relationships. Oh wait, I can't read.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Yeah, the relationships you have. Relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship you have. That's in like friendships, boyfriend, girlfriendships, whatever, relationship you have with you sets that tone. And I made a joke the other night because I was like, I date myself so much. I said, I don't set the bar high because I can do everything for myself.
Right.
So it's like, I
can pay for my own meal. Now I always have like my backup money, like when I used to date and everything, I used to always have my backup money just in case.
Yeah, I never order something that I didn't have money to pay for myself. Yeah. So
it would be something that I would order for myself. You know what I mean? Like I could treat myself like I'm not like.
Cause that's what I told that one guy. I was like, I pay for my own food. No, you good. Because the fact, like I said, they do these meet and greets, and then they're like,
I didn't even know they even have that.
I thought you ate before you came. I was like,
I thought you did meet and greet while you was on the phone, though.
I was like, I was hungry.
What happened to doing the meet and greet on the phone? That's when you talk to them first. First of all, when I used to date or whatnot, that's what I used to do. Like, I used to find out, okay, if they worthy, first of all, for me to even go out, unless I'm desperate that day, but. Just need company because I said
that is true. I've done that, yeah.
You're just like, you know what? Let me just go. Let me go out because I'm bored today. Whatnot? Okay.
It'll always be the worst days.
But the one that I felt that I wanted to be serious with, that I had a couple conversation or whatever, and they do pass. I'm like, okay, now it's time. Eventually they do ask you, okay, hey, I'll take you out because if you don't do that, then I ain't going nowhere. So they take me out to eat because I love to eat anyway. And then we go from there, and then sometimes they don't pass that part. I'm like, I don't like the same guy. The guy that I was talking on the phone is like not the guy I'm seeing on the phone. Because a lot of things change when you see them in person. You see their manners, you see how they act. Like, are they treating you well? Are they respectful?
Yeah,
see all of that.
I pay attention to that. I pay attention to the little stuff. Like when you eat in a restaurant, is he sitting facing the door? Because the man should always sit facing the door. Like, I pay attention because that lets me know that you're going to protect me. And that you're going to keep me safe. So, if I go out to eat with you and I sit this way, you're like, no, I need to sit right here to face the door. I'm like, okay, then. Yeah. So, I know he got my back. If we're walking up the sidewalk, if he walks on the outside of me, that I know he's like gonna protect me. Like certain little things that guys do. Like not everybody does that. Still, a lot of people forget, and they're not as chivalrous as they used to be. But I used to think like by talking like older men, that would be different. But girl, they just as bad as ones our age.
Them older men now, especially the
45-year-olds,
45, they be acting worse than the 35 years old one.
That's all they want to do is have sex. Like
it's like they feel like they've already been through life and they already been married, either been married, now they're divorced, and now they just want to have fun.
Yeah, they don't want to get married. They don't want to settle down.
They don't want to settle down. They don't want to do anything.
And it's like, no.
No, like it makes no sense.
It doesn't. Like when I started,
I don't know. Like that's a turn off. Like if you're 45, I'm sorry, unless you like. I get it. Sometimes we go on hard time, and then we gotta, scale back a bit and go back, living with your mom or whatever it may be, whatever your struggle. Mm-hmm. But I'm sorry. Like I said, if you're a man, and I would respect you more if you just like knew where you are in life right now and just, let me step back, let me think, like, let me get myself together, let me get me a good job or whatever. Like, rebuild yourself. Like, don't go out and date. But like I said, it makes, like, some of the females out there make it so easy that they just go out.
I think that's what it is, too.
I think that's what it is.
If you have some people who make it easy, who don't have requirements. Because, like, I used to tell my mom, I said, if you got Mary and let's say Susan, who are out here doing everything with no what's the word I'm looking for, standards, no boundaries, and then
giving it all out.
They're okay.
You don't have to work to get it.
Yeah, so
they're not gonna want to do all that with you.
They're not, because they're gonna be like, I can just go to Mary, I can just go to Susan. She's gonna give me what I want, so why would I invest time in you? So I think also comes to the mindset of like you're truly looking for someone. You know what I'm saying? That when you're really truly ready to settle down, I think men's approaches are different. But the thing is, a lot of them say it, but they truly don't mean it or understand what they're saying. Like, it's one or the other.
I honestly, like, it is true. Like, when a man really know what he wants, like, it doesn't take that long. Like, I don't understand how people feel like, oh, yeah, well, I know I got to date it for 5 years. No. Like, a man know, like, at least within the first year, like, if he wants to be with this person or not. So, no, you should know.
Boy, he knew, like, on the first date that he had with her, he had, like, told us, he was like, this is going to be my wife. See? And because he had the mindset of looking for his forever. I think when you're going out there truly looking for your wife, it doesn't take you long to figure it out.
I think women already wired to want to be married. So it ain't going to be, like, it's just meeting the guys that are ready, that are wanting to be married, really, at this point. Mm-hmm. But women we're already wired to want to be married. We want to be married. We want to have a family. We want to settle down. It's right now the men just making it, I don't know, they just want to go out here and just have fun.
They do. They're not serious about anything. And it's just
you would think if they're truly a man of God, that's the confusing part. Because you're like, okay, so you're a man of God, but you're not, your first thing is not being married right now. You want to have fun. It's just conflicting. Because we're like, okay, well, he's a man of God. So you, in your mind, you try to justify, well, maybe he's just a babe in Christ. He's just, maybe I'll help him get there. No. He's old enough. Like, no.
Nella got no mercy.
No, I don't.
Nella got no mercy.
You know what? Let me step back. As much as I want you, I gotta pray about it. Did you pray about me? Did you pray to see if I'm the one for you? Like, why am I the only one praying? Like, I'm so sick of it. Why am I the only one praying about you? You need to be praying about me too.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, I think that would be so amazing. I've never dated a Christian guy before, so I don't know what it's like. Because every time I meet a guy, I never dated a guy who's like trying to truly serve God. Yeah. So I wouldn't know.
That's a shame.
That is crazy.
That's a shame.
I've never
way I
like
the Christian man. Yeah. Way I lack.
I always meet guys who believe in God, but that's about it.
Like, and walking with it, not just telling me, okay, yeah, I go to church once a month. I go to church on Easter.
I never dated a guy that went to church. Like, never.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Every guy I dated, I'm like the only one. Like, that's why I said I don't believe that they exist. So at one point I had kind of gave up. And I was just like,
it's like you're like, you know what? I'll just settle with what's come my
way. They have a
way.
good heart, then maybe that's kind of like the approach I started taking. I was like, maybe they have a good heart. Then it is what it is.
Maybe he's a good man.
Yeah,
I'll settle for that. But
and I can settle for that. But then I remember years ago, my friend's husband had said something. He was like, if you are like a Mercedes, God's not going to give you a Kia.
Oh.
I was like, oh, that's true. He's like, he's going to give you somebody that is just as good as you, Right. And so he's not going to give you something from the bottom when he created you to be on the top. So, that always sticks to my mind. I remember that sometimes. I'm like, well, Lord, if I'm in my mind, this is who I am. And everybody should think of themselves as being high.
Yeah.
Everybody should think of themselves as being like a Mercedes or whatever. But, like I said, but you have to be mindful. So when you meet these guys, you got to really just be truthful about it and say, okay, is this person really, truly on my level? Like, there are some people, because I feel like this. I feel like you don't have, I hate that sometimes people make me feel like I have to be perfect in order for God to give me a husband. Because I hear all the time, like, oh, well, once you get yourself right, then God will send you someone. But I'm like,
why can't he get himself right?
I'm struggling. Like,
get myself right all the damn time.
I feel like, I feel like when you meet someone, you guys are conditioning each other. You guys are,
you're growing with each other,
together.
Right?
So where I'm weak at, my man needs to be strong,
right?
And vice versa. Where he's weak at, I need to be strong. And that's why I feel like sometimes you can grow, because I know that there's things I'm battling that I need to deal with, but there's also things that I know that I'm so strong in. And it's like, I can't meet anybody to like pour it into their life or just bless them and love on them, because, it's kind of like...
the struggle is you have so much love to give. And it's like,
do. And I feel like I'm stuck.
I'm bad.
And so when I meet a guy, I can kind of be too much, because I'm just like, I want to give you this love, I want to give you this love. And they're looking like, whoa, pump your brakes, Tiff. I don't want you like that. I'm not into you like that, or whatever it may be. And they're like, dismiss me or whatever. But it's just like, and then I'm walking around like, oh, see, nobody never appreciates me. All sad.
You don't have to think. I'm about to
I got some.
I don't want to be too dirty.
Have you ever had a guy you thought was the one, but you realized, like, probably in the last hour that he wasn't? Like, you really was just, like, so sure this guy was going to be, like, God sent you him, and then you realized that he was wrong?
The last guy I was, I guess, dating or talking to, I think I did. Like, I think I wanted it. I was doing all the work in my mind, so by the time I met him or would go out, he didn't have to do it much, because I already had imagined that he was doing all these things for me, and he was not doing too much. But in my mind, I created this fantasy or dream that we were together, but it wasn't. Like, I just made it up. And when I started seeing the reality, is like when I go on his page, because Facebook will tell you the truth, honey. You really want to know about somebody. If you really, and then when I go on Facebook, I never used to do that. But once I went on Facebook and go through his page, and I go all the way to the day you were born on Facebook. I don't care. I want to know your family. I don't care. I need to know what's going on. Who I'm going to set myself with. Okay. And then I'm seeing the pattern. I'm looking like, okay, he's never been in a relationship all like that, like 3 months. But then you move on to the next. Like, you can tell, like, okay, now he has this other girl. Then he has another girl. And I'm like,
because he didn't take his pictures down, he left them up.
Yeah, guys don't do it like us. They don't think ahead.
The cracker.
Some guys, I delete everything. I don't care. I barely post anything now because I did it before. No, I did it before, and it took so much time, and it looks like Facebook takes forever to delete stuff. And that's another thing. There was one guy, we used to take pictures, a lot of pictures. Every time we used to go out, we'd take pictures there, here, and there. So we accumulated about 300 pictures. I was like, no. And you could tell when somebody's not in a relationship no more, all of a sudden you don't see nothing, they don't post nothing no more. I'm like,
they go ghost. Because they want you to know, they want you to forget.
Right.
So when they post their
because they used to post so much stuff, lovey-dovey. I'm like, then you gotta really find out. You go to the guy page to see, because normally the guy page, he never posts stuff.
Well, the thing is, how I always find out about a guy is when I go to the girls page.
Yeah, the girls page will happen. She will tell you. We don't hold back on that part.
We don't. Because if they still together, they still in love.
She'll have a picture. She'll have a picture somewhere. Even though he's not claiming her.
Because women always doing them little my king, my everything posts. I be like, oh, that's how you can catch a guy. That's how I call every single guy. Because when I go look on their Facebooks and stuff, I start clicking. You get nosy because they always get tagged in at least one picture.
You either get tagged or somebody always commenting. Like a main one always commenting about the page or right. They always get tagged. Mm-hmm. That's how you know. Y'all gonna be picking up on stuff. Oh, okay, who's that? Then you go on her page. Now you see the pictures.
So you see the Christmas pictures that they had together. Oh, we ain't together.
That trip that he told you he was at his mom's house.
Y'all did a whole Merry Christmas thing together. Y'all was holding hands. You was kissing her.
Going on trips.
I don't know why she posted that. That's old. That's old.
2021.
It says season's greeting 2020. So I don't know what that.
Right. Isn't that the time you told me?
It does get discouraging, but I try to stay like positive
because you love love.
I do love love, and it, no matter how hard I try to be like tough girl, and I still be trying like, oh, I don't need no man. Right. I do, and then I do desire to like want to have that whole family.
Yeah, you want to have that family unit. You want to have. Of course, who wouldn't want it? Like it's all natural stuff. Like it's all things that most humans would want.
Mm-hmm. So that's the thing, and I just hate that. What I hate to hear a lot of times when I do go to church and I hear other people talk is when they like try to make it seem like like I said, like you're the one who's like
the problem.
Like the problem. Like no, it's like well, just be patient, just wait. But
everything's not what it seems. But people will be lying too.
But when you start looking at the time going, so people are saying just wait, but then also you see days go by like
how long?
Years. Like, how long am I waiting for? Like I know some of my friends who literally been waiting their whole lives. Like they're like 36 and never had a relationship or never been married or anything. And they're still waiting. Like it's hard to keep waiting. I know quite a few women. I have a few colleagues of mine who are still virgins, and they're still waiting for their husband. Awesome. Yeah, like they're still waiting for that husband.
And they don't want to lose it on some loser.
And now here they are, like 36 years old, still waiting. So it makes me nervous because it's like.
And some men they don't even want a virgin no more.
Yeah, like they're pure women.
That's the best gift. Like you didn't give it up to nobody. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And you're pure, and you just wait for that right guy. Like you don't want to give it up. Like. Man, how devastating that would be, Like you waited this long, 30 to 37-year-old, and you find out you gave it to some loser out there shacking up with all the females. That's devastating. I could just only imagine. I mean, we've been through it, so we can handle some stuff, but I don't know if I could handle that.
Yeah, because it definitely takes a lot of discipline to like.
You want to definitely be married at this point. If I waited this long to have sex, then you might as well wait to.
What I would do.
Right, you might as well wait until you get married. Like,
I really wouldn't want to like just bust it open wide for just any old body. You know what I'm saying? If I waited that long,
I'm opening my body to you,
baby.
You don't want to give a ring. You don't want to put. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that's why, because I know that's my hardest struggle. So like I said, for me, I feel like if I never did it, I would have been good. But because like even after it was so long before I even had sex after my ex-husband, like I went. Like years without being intimate with anybody,
Right.
So it's doable, but I wasn't dating either. But like I said, once you start that dating, that's when.
Once you start that dating, it's easy to fall.
It is
because it's something that we're familiar with, and it's something that we've been craving. Even though we have waited so long now to have sex, but once you do get that familiar, feeling again, it's like, oh man, I miss this. Like I miss being like in our mind, it's like being married again. So it's just like I don't know. Yeah. It's a whole different thing. Probably a different video.
But yeah, like I said, because we could definitely talk about so many different topics. I was trying to keep everything like on one topic, but I will tell really fast about the time when I was dating this guy. That I thought was God.
What made you feel like he was God sent?
What recording on this? What I was added in there. I feel like what made me feel like he was God sent because he was like super family oriented. He was like very sweet, very
everything caring, that you like,
everything that I liked, and I just knew. I was like, okay, his family came from the church. He would talk about the church, so it was like, okay, but he wasn't actively going, but that was fine. But he kind of, made it seem like, he was kind of put together really well.
Yeah.
Only to find out he was just like everybody else, girl. He cheated on me from the front side to the back side. And it was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's like, it's
ended up being very
dramatic,
very,
traumatizing at some point. Because you're like, what? Like, it's supposed to be a man of God.
I was
really rooting for you, almost.
But let me tell you, how I found out he wasn't a woman? Because I finally did the prayer. I was like, well, Lord, if he's the one for me,
that prayer,
and if he's not the one, and when I prayed that, it seemed like everything just started to unfold. Yeah, and just I was prayer. Like,
and God showed it. God will show it out.
He did. So that's how I realized, okay.
And you still sometimes don't want to give up. Like,
you don't, girl. You still
like, damn, like, really, God? Are you sure?
I'm telling you, girl.
Can we bargain on this one, though? Like, he's trying. I know he has a struggle. He just cheated last night, but I forgave him for that, God. Yeah. You like trying to, okay, God, if I bring to church, I promise, okay, I'm really going to dedicate my life to you, God. Just let me bring him to church. I'm gonna let Pastor talk to him.
I know you just be.
I know you can turn around.
Like, you be feeling like the movies, like when they come into church and then all of a sudden they see you and it's like, like, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? Like you just. That's not a thing, like, because you know how it is when people come in the movie and then they go to church that one Sunday, all of a sudden,
and then all of a sudden get their life to Christ,
and they get their life to Christ, and you're like, oh my God, man, like.
I knew it. And then he gonna be like, man, she was the woman of God. She waited on me all these years, and I love her.
We watch movies. That's what I be looking for.
I blame it on Disney World.
I know. I'm looking for the Tyler Perry movies.
Yeah, and Happily After.
Oh my God, them T.D. Jake movies just be lying to each other. It don't work nothing like that.
It ain't like that. It's not like that in real life.
It's not. It's definitely not like that. But you do, like I said, you be feeling like, okay, if he's not in church, if he just go one Sunday, then all of a sudden he might start going and boom. But yeah, like I said, at this point, it is what it is. I'm just enjoying my dating a little bit. Like, it's okay to go on dates here and there, but right now I'm at a place where...
If they're not willing to take you out to eat, no. I ain't not going nowhere. You ain't taking me nowhere.
Because I just feel like...
Sorry.
Like I said, now with the whole dating situation, like...
You can talk on the phone.
You can talk on the phone.
Yeah, that's what that's for. If you can't... For real. You gotta step it up. Like, no, if you can't think of anywhere to go, then no, I'm not going now. You might be trying to kill me. No.
Oh my God, I didn't tell you about that African dude I was talking to. And he asked me, it was like 11 o'clock at night. And he had hit me up. He was like, oh, what you doing? I was like, oh, I'm in the bed. He was like, I want to know if you want to go for a walk. I was like, a walk? I said, 11 o'clock at night, what we walking for? This ain't the jungle? What you think?
Oh, wow. Yeah. The only walk I'm doing in your mind when you fall asleep. Go ahead.
I said, it's dark outside. So, ooh, child, so he still think he was back at home.
I was like, baby,
no, we're walking at 11 o'clock. That's like, I'm about to put you in the alley, murder you, kill you, rape you. Like, that's what goes through my mind.
And you use me as a living sacrifice for your
Exactly. I was like,
I never
heard that. And he was serious. He was like, I want to know if you felt like going for a walk tonight.
Where?
At 11 o'clock. Where we walking? Like,
where though?
He's stuttering.
I'll be like, where?
Wow.
So you can, okay, but you can't think of that in the daytime? Let's go tomorrow at the beach. Let's go.
Oh, no, because then he hit me with I know you had kids, and so I was trying to wait for your kids to go to sleep. Dude, it's 11 o'clock at night. Like, where am I walking? Like, shoot, you would have been better off asking me to get up 6 in the morning to go for a workout with you. Yeah. You have asked me 11 o'clock at night. I do need to come back to my kids that are sleeping, you know that. So walk, like, wow, what the heck we walking to?
Walk, and then you take me out. I know better. You know, kill me this time.
You even be killing me, exactly. I ain't no sucker. You even be taking me out.
I know that one. Like, you ain't going, nah. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna do that.
Absolutely not. Like I said, they'll definitely try you, girl. That's what I said. You gotta be so careful out here in the dating world because, like I said, some of these guys be so sketchy, and mother just don't be here for it. I be like, they be trying to go. I am not here, but they will try you to test you to see. Because I thought maybe that's what he was doing, but that's what
like the devil himself. They're just gonna try you in the opportune time of your weaknesses. Yeah, let's go hang out. Well, you always calling me at nighttime. Like, who is this? That's the only time you feel like you can talk to me or see me?
Well, at least you get to talk on the phone because I was telling
no, we talk on the phone first.
Yeah, because see, that's the thing. A lot of guys don't want to talk on the phone. All they want to do is text. Like, and that's
right.
good.
What's up with that?
I don't like texting because I have a sarcastic mouth. I say a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and you're gonna read it.
If you read what I say, you're gonna interpret it wrong. Yeah, like you gotta like listen to the fluctuation of my voice. You gotta listen to, you know, is she sounding serious? Is she angry? The
right?
tone.
Is she laughing at?
Yeah, because I'll say stuff because I'm sarcastic, and somebody might read it and be like, "Girl, who she think she is?" So. But these guys now, nobody wants to talk on the phone.
That's the problem. You 43, 33 years old, 35 and up. Like anything below that, I don't think you're serious. But 35 and up, like, come on now.
But if
your
husband is 28 now, I'll take it serious. What if your husband is a 28-year-old?
Then you have to work extra hard. Like, really prove to me that you're ready.
You might be 25 years old, girl. Like, oh God,
you're too young.
I couldn't imagine.
You haven't been through anything.
I went on a date with a 21-year-old, like when I was, how old was I? 30?
You older than him?
Yeah, I was 30. He was 21.
I feel like I had, like his mom. I don't know why.
I felt like a mother.
I feel like I might be the one.
Well, I am a mom. But I felt like, you know.
Like
I
right.
I felt matronly.
Tell him what to do. It's not I'm talking to him, I'm telling him.
Yeah, because I felt like everybody in the restaurant knew that I was a cougar and he was a child. Like, it just felt so uncomfortable. But he played me, girl. He ended up doing me dirty on that date. He got mad because I showed up like 10 minutes late.
Why you showing up late?
I texted him and told him I was running late. He said, that's so disrespectful. And girl, he's like, I would have walked you to your car, but you showed up late. And I was like, you're not going to walk me to my car? And he was like, nope. But he did pay for the food. So
that's a plus.
Yeah, but it was just awkward because he was so stank the whole date because I showed up 10 minutes late. But I had texted him and told him, like, I just didn't show up late. I was like, hey, I'm like 10 minutes away.
Things do happen now. Like, it's not like you purposely did it. Oh, I was on another date, so now I'm...
No, I was just running behind and stuff, you know, because like I said, when I go on dates, this is when back when my mom was living, I would have to drop my kids off in Plant City, that drive all the way back.
Yeah, like you have a life. Like, if you know, communication, basically.
Yeah, so it's like sometimes stuff will get kind of slowed down or whatever. So that's just kind of like how things were set up. But that's it. Oh my gosh, it's just so complicated. But anyways, I think we said all we can say tonight.
We did. That was good.
Yeah, it was a good conversation. The food was good.
Food was good. Combo was
Mr.
good.
and Mrs. Crab, big up. Shout out to that.
Big it up. It was good. Everything was good. It was not hot, too hot or anything.
Yeah, because we can't do no spicy.
We gotta take it light with us. Huh?
Exactly. You told that food up there.
Gastro issues.
Ain't nothing left. I thought I was gonna have me some leftovers for lunch tomorrow. I told this whole bag.
I know. I was like,
we good now. I guess we can watch some movies. But you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed sitting with us, talking with us.
Comment
below, share, subscribe. We're trying to get our.
Let us know what topic you would like us to talk about next time, maybe, or whatever.
Exactly. Let us know. We're always down to talk about anything.
For new content, so let us know.
Let us know. We'll see you guys later.
See ya. Bye.